You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, doing another draft with you on MTGOacademy.com, and we're looking at the cube. It is the Legacy Cube, and got to figure out what we want to do here. I like Ralzeric and Inferno Titan a lot. I like Grim Monolith a lot. That card just powers out some ridiculous stuff. It's probably the best pick here, though. I mean, these Ralzer, like Inferno Titan, is the most powerful card, but Grim Monolith keeps us open and goes in multiple decks, and I really like staying open. So let's try that. What do we get here? A Master of Waves? Yeah, we could take a Master of Waves. Probably the most powerful card here. I mean, Exalted Angel, I think, has gone up a bit for me since these aggressive decks seem to be better now than they used to be. Adjustments have to be made here. And, ooh. Well, there's some good stuff here. Garrick, Thoughtseize. I'm going to take Brago. Have you guys seen this guy? He's insane. I'm going to take him. I'm kind of in on Brago. I was talking to BDM about him. He's telling me about some of the interactions he did. So I drafted Brago the next day and had some pretty sick stuff myself. And I was kind of like, wow, I'm just valuing out here. This is insane. It's kind of exactly what I want to be doing. So I like it. Oh, wow. Brago Parallax Wave. We got there. It's a little combo. You can reset your Parallax Wave with Brago. And I think I want to be a little bit more on the controlling side here. I've been finding that these aggressive decks have been annoyingly good and keep me off of my normal, well, let's ramp and do all this crazy stuff game. So I'm a little salty about it, and I'm going to try to fix it. I'm taking Archangel here. See, I want to be able to beat decks that are just trying to damage me. I think that that's actually just way better than it normally has been. So let's try to do white or blue-white control of some sort. Maybe even like an Esper build if we get some mana. Okay, well, this pack's not very good. I guess I could take a Precinct Captain. I don't think I've ever played that in the cube. Whatever. Got to stay flexible, right? Here's a land tax. Could be interesting. I think we want a core Skyfisher, and it's hard to imagine playing these other cards outside of Night's Whisper or Kozilek, depending on what we get. I'll just take the land tax. It's very powerful. Here's a Dungeon Geist, because you can never have too many 4-drops, apparently. And Ralzi came back. We'll take him. I think I like him better than a Mana Tithe here. And because you can never have too many 4-drops, apparently. Goodness sakes. I mean, I'll take only Vanguard, but that's not the kind of card that I think I want for this deck. Ooh. Raise the Alarm. Let's see, any of these do anything really great? Not really. I think Thoughtseize is actually the best option here, though. Our mana's getting a little too varied, perhaps. I'm going to take it anyway. Go for the throat. Okay. Toxic Deluge. Sweet. Card's great. You can kill the captain, kill the Vanguard. And move over into a little bit more controlling route here. Probably Ralzeric dies too in this transaction, but go for the throat. Thoughtseize are nice. Carnophage, no. Gravecrawler, no. All right. Things coming around. Nice little mid-range deck we're starting off with here. We have some serious work to do to make this up to power level, but a little mana fixing. Some powerful early stuff, and I think we'll be, well, kind of cool at least. I haven't played a deck like this. Hello, Bitter Blossom. Welcome to the team. That's a nice one. What do we like here? Solemn, Sower are fine. Red Cap I think is going to be a little bit too hard to cast, but Forbid is definitely an option. Powerful hard counter that rewards raw card advantage pretty strongly, and also just fits in at our 3-drop that's looking a little lacking. I'll take Forbid here. I'm pretty concerned about how many 4s we've got. And we can cut Dungeon Geist, I guess, or even Master. Yeah, maybe I should just keep taking good cards in that slot anyway. Here's an interesting one. Miscalculation or Watery Grave. We have no mana fixing yet whatsoever, but Miscalc is a really solid 2-mana counter spell, which we need. I'm going to take Miscalc. I'm pushing the boundaries a bit, but sometimes that happens. There's an Oracle of Moldiah. I do love that card, but I don't think we can play it. There's a Pestermite and a Nighthawk. Let's take the Nighthawk. I don't think I want to play a triple. You know what? Maybe I should just take the Pestermite. I still want to try to keep black to single black and not double, and Vampire Nighthawk's not a great reason to go into that just for that. Negate is also probably worth talking about here. Thalia's alright too. Even unexpectedly absent, but I kind of like Pestermite. I'm just going to take it. Alright, well there's a Doomblade, but we do have to start taking the fixing at some point, and an Underground River I am not going to pass. This pack's interesting. There's a Merfolk Looter, which we could probably use pretty well. There's also an Emeria Angel, which is very solid, and a Liliana Vest, which is nice too, though again the double black's a bit of a problem. I think it's between Looter and Angel. It's probably Angel. Alright, no fixing, but some good options. Teferi, Essence Scatter. I'm just going to take Essence Scatter. Got to make sure we keep this thing streamlined. We want to have some hard counters for the times when our Toxic Deluge doesn't get it done. This one is like Dark Blast, I guess. I guess we could take Rift. Let's take Rift. You never know. And here we can take a Far and Away or a Future Sight. You know, we don't really have any great card advantage yet, do we? Might actually just want this Future Sight. It's tough to cast, though, in this deck. Yeah, I'm going to take it anyway, but we are going to need to pick up a bunch of fixing to make that thing work. Take a Warhammer. Probably not playing it. I like Wall of Omens. I think I like it better than Disfigure. I definitely like it better than Intuition. Let's take Wall of Omens. Now, Sarkhan came back, but so did Unexpectedly Absent, which is kind of a good card. Force Spike. All right, pack 3 is upon us, and ooh, it looks nice. I'm taking Wormcoil. Spoiler alert. But Wrath of God, Maloku are both sweet. Sublime Archangel actually can do work even on its own, but yeah, that's the kind of card I want. Oh, this is an interesting one. There's Blade Splicer, which I think is really good in this deck. It helps us stabilize the board. It's just a really solid card. It works with Parallax Wave. It works with Brago. But there's also a Gilded Lotus, which lets us do kind of broken things. Just in the sense that we can cast our spells maybe sometimes, which right now I don't know that we're going to be able to do. Yeah, I'm going to take the Blade Splicer and try to trim away some of this other stuff if possible. Our Black Splash can definitely take a little bit of a hit. We can be blue-white with a little bit of black. All right. Here's a nice dual land opportunity with either a Godless Shrine or a Temple of Enlightenment. I'm gonna go for the Temple here, I think. I mean, this is our splash, sure, but we have some pretty tough requirements here, and the scry ability can be really good. This pack doesn't look great to me. Okay, take like an Ashiok for probably the sideboard. Maybe it's just Pact of Negation. Spectral Procession's great, but I don't want to rely on having even double white like at a very certain time. I mean, it can be good later, but the earlier you play a Spectral Procession, much, much better. So I'll play a Pact. The Grizzle Dad, Polluted Delta, Glacial Fortress. I think I need the Delta here. It's a little awkward because we don't have the actual dual land, which would be really nice, but so it goes. And here's another option for a dual land, and I think that there's not... Mesmeric Fiend registers on the radar, but I think we just need to pick a dual here. So what do we want to pick? Probably the Scrubland, I guess. The Polluted Delta can now get the Scrubland too. So that makes that a lot better. Brain Maggot, Duress. Oh, Venser. Hello. Yeah, let's just take Venser. Venser's sweet. Psychotog? Yeah, we'll take a Psychotog here. Psychotog can be very good in many situations. IOK is nice. These black cards kind of added up on us a little bit, but I am glad that we got 4 fixers here. And we have a slight chance to get another one. No, I wouldn't call it likely. Skulker. Yeah, we did get it back. Yay, that was lucky. Herald, not playing it. Oh, man. Another one. Running good. Got the Mesmeric Fiend back, too. It looks like black crept up above white as one of our main colors here, maybe. We'll see. We'll make some adjustments during the deck build and see where this deck really wants to be. You know, some cards are situated better than others in this deck. For example, I don't know if Master of Waves is great. I mean, we've got a Future Sight and a Dungeon Geist, but then it's just like random other stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to play it. All right. Okay, so what is this deck really trying to do? Let's look at the creatures first. Looks like it's trying to be a control deck, but that has like a bunch of mid-range value creatures. So maybe it's more of a mid-range deck that has like a reset button and some powerful stuff. So let's just consider it a mid-range deck when we make our decisions. If that's the case, probably land tax can go. I mean, not that it's bad, it's just kind of specific. Ditch Rift here. We need to make 3 more cuts from this. We can tear their hand apart, keep them off balance, apply pressure, kill their threats, get stuff out of the way, go off with Venser, counter their stuff if we need to. I think once again, though, Future Sight probably needs to go. It's always so difficult to cast unless you're like mono blue or really, really heavy blue. Skulker, Pestermite seem mediocre. I'll cut Skulker unless we see like a really slow matchup. Master of Waves seems not great, like I mentioned. Everything else seems good, though. This deck's pretty cool. Ended up with 6 duels as well, which is definitely lucky. All right, so let's see what this thing ended up giving us as far as lands go. Okay, actually, let's just do it like this. Sort by color. So black and blue and white look fairly evenly distributed just at a glance here. And I'm not really seeing anything jumping out, so that's what we'll be looking for. Relatively even distribution here, slightly favoring blue and white, just because those ones have double mana symbols and these ones don't. So let's take a look at blue first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's borderline. White, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So again, borderline. And then black, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so what we need to do is cut a swamp for a plains at the very least, and maybe even one more. Probably not. Yeah, let's submit this. All right. Esper midrange. No clue.
Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any MTGOacademy.com page.
All right. We are going to be on the play, and I think I like being on the play with this deck. And this looks nice. We get Force Spike on the play, and then Blade Splicer plus maybe Toxic Deluge as a backup plan. It's decent. I'll take it. Force Spike on the play is always good, too. A little late game action here, too. That's decent. I guess the perfect sequence is to counter a 2-drop here, like a good 2-drop, and then just drop Blade Splicer. Seems pretty decent. But we're not going to get that opportunity. And I don't want to play my own Blade Splicer right into his counter spell and then have him untap and play some spell that I can't beat. All right. Easy Force Spike here. Now we're in business. Would love to hit a swamp here. No? Forbid? All right. Splicer. Okay. Now all we need is an island and we have our perfect mana. I'm guessing the Psychotog's more useful long term. Don't actually know that to be 100% true, but I think it's true. Shrine. All right, well, we're going to get countered here. So let's attack. Ship it back. I don't see any reason to play into his fairly obvious counterspell there. It looks like we're going to get to use our Toxic Deluge, so he's keeping this 3 mana up. I'm putting him on Dissolve. Nice. So now this Chainer's Edict killing our Archangel becomes an issue. God, that's brutal. I'm going to have to let it resolve, though. Brago. Let's just fight through a little counter here. I don't think we care about Nighthawk that much. It's annoying. So probably prompt him to use his, his Bone Shredder, I guess. All right. So he's going to kill Brago with the with his sack with Chainer's Edict. Shoot, shields were down just for a moment there. Should have got an island with that Delta. Ugh, loose. All right, let's just cycle this. It's a good draw. Makes that Edict a lot worse. Let's get in here. He's going to... Oh, he didn't do anything. It's great. I'm surprised he didn't keep the Emiri Angel down. Ashok would survive otherwise. Could just kill Venser here. Seems likely. Mm-hmm. Seems good with Brago. Okay. All right, now we get to actually have Forbid. I mean, if he wants to tap both of our islands, he can, but gets a little sketchy for him at some point. Let's see what he wants to tap down. Mirror Angel. Makes sense. I think I'm not gonna. I was considering just keeping Forbid, keeping a land for Forbid, but I think I'm just gonna go as wide as I can here, so that I can start attacking at some point. Anyway. Geis. Just gonna tap down the Nighthawk with that. That way I can get in for a bunch of damage here. What the heck? Maybe he's just given up? He didn't even use his opposition in response. He could have locked down my Angel or something and kept a bunch of damage off of him. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty happy he didn't. And this looks like desperation here. Not at all. If you guys want to join the clan, you can do so. Just by doing what... There we go. Sam, you're in. You bet, Sam. All you got to do is ask me on here on Magic Online. It's the only way to get people into the clan. I wish there was a more clean, offline method, but whatever. It works. And the only rules, of course, are that you got to love Magic and you can't be a jerk. I don't really have room for people that are just trying to be, negative for the sake of being negative in the clan. The loving Magic part's the easy part. Animate Dead, the Sower. Whatever. I'm going to counter it anyway. That's why I countered it. I think I still win anyway, but I think if I counter that, then he just can't win. So, GG. I think I want Chasm Skulker against this player. With all those Edict effects, Skulker is pretty good. Wow, things are getting weird here. Maybe cut Force Spike. They almost always just play around it forever anyway. Our deck has a more aggressive curve if we want. We can go heavier into black and cut some of the white. And we can play Herald, Gravecrawler, Carnophage, Diagraph Ghoul, and just kind of be aggressive. I wonder if Cyclonic Rift is worth bringing in. Just like in case he does stick a problem permanent like that. I guess I'll wait. I want to see more. Okay, what is happening? I'm going to restart Magic Online. All right, well, I didn't restart Magic Online yet because the thing started and I kind of wanted to get moving, but we'll see. Need lands. Ship that away because we can't cast it. Wall of Omens is actually just seems very good against this player too. Like it's also another way to protect against Edict. Like this game, we're gonna go Wall Skulker. Seems nice. Sweet. All we need is an island, and we've got access to our whole deck basically. Ooh. Liliana with the discards. I think Dungeon Geist wants to go away. Skulker. Steal our Skulker, but we can get it back. Let's just play this. We'll let it get a counter. So that's pretty good. And next turn, we're going to go Myria Angel land. Hopefully. Depends on what he does with Liliana, of course. Necrotal. He's going to Necrotal our Stalker? That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just turns it into a unblockable instead of, a long-term threat. He wants me to sack a creature now, though. I think I'm going to let him do this. I mean, I want to get Parallax Wave, Wall of Omens going so that I can just draw a card when Parallax Wave eventually goes away. I like having a squid, though, to attack Liliana here. But I think Myria Angel is going to do a good job. All right, I'll just give up on the Wall of Omens tech here and be happy with what I've got. Which is this. Nighthawk, okay. He flooded. So I'll probably need to get that Nighthawk out of the way. This gets a little bit complicated because he's going to be able to steal something with the Sower. So I got to be careful because if I let him steal Archangel of Thune, it gets a little bit awkward. But I do have this for a couple more turns because this is the Fading's the one where it's not the last counter that goes, it's when you can't remove a counter. So if I use it on the Nighthawk here, I kill Liliana. That makes sense. That goes to 1. I play Archangel of Thune, pass the turn back. He plays something. comes back to me, it goes to 0, and I'm still okay. So I think that's what I want to do here. Other option. No, that option's not better. Okay, so the way I see it is that he can steal something, but if I get a bunch of counters on all my things, I think I'll just be in better shape. Oh, wow. Sometimes you run good, kids. Wow, what a sick draw. So now we can blink Parallax Wave. He gets things back for a moment, but then we get them right back again. So let's attack. I think we can just kill him next turn. Yeah. Chase, you. So our whole team gets huge. And then this happens. So those ones come back. He steals something. And then we get our Parallax Wave back and then can just take it right back anyway. Zoop. Not too bad. All right, so he does nothing. So end step. That's another option I had, although I'm just going to kill him this turn, hopefully. Maybe he's got Cryptic. What is he up to? Don't suppose there's a big deal to doing anything on end step here. I just do this. Blade Splicer is pretty good with Venser as well. All right, we got there. We'll see you guys in the next round.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than one event ticket.
All right. Into the second round, we're going to go first. Definitely keep him. This hand looks great. And the eternal question, do we Thoughtseize on turn 1 or do we get our Temple down? I'm going to go with the Temple here. It's pretty rare that a 1-drop is going to make such a huge difference that it kind of destroys us or whatever. And even if it does, it's like those type of decks usually are pretty redundant. So the thing you take on turn 2 ends up being fairly similar. With this Scry, I'm essentially looking for lands. Just like if it's a land, I'll probably just take it. Blade Splicer's definitely one of the exceptions. I will keep a Blade Splicer. I can cast it on turn 3. It's good against basically all decks. Kind of doesn't matter what they're doing. All right, so it looks like we got, an Aether Vial. Well, that isn't great against us. It's decent, though. So let's Thoughtseize, and remember that we've got Toxic Deluge and Blade Splicer in our hand. So those are going to be major factors to our decision. Because it looks like our opponent is, oh, here we go. What does this do again? Gets a thing, and then for 4. Okay. Well, our opponent's deck looks a little conflicted, to be honest. Not often you see Day of Judgment alongside Master of the Wild Hunt. And the Vial's doing nothing forever. So Brago Blade Splicer kind of wrecks him here. I think I want to take Condemn. If I do, there's got to be more cards, right? What am I looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, that's right. So I think I want to take Condemn. Because I can force him to Day of Judgment pretty easily here. And Condemn kind of wrecks me. Like, it's really annoying. Because we're going to play Blade Splicer. Putting that on the bottom obviously isn't a big deal, but it does kill the token, which that would be an ideal situation if he decided to kill the token with it. But it kills Brago and it kills Wormcoil in a pretty decisive way. And that's annoying. I still think it was correct to keep Blade Splicer on top, even though we were really looking for lands primarily. Because Brago plus Blade Splicer is awesome. And Blade Splicer's quite good on its own as well. Okay, so Day and Master. Only the cards that we know about that he has. We kind of got there. I mean, Brago's going to go off, so that's always sweet. Question is, do we want to play Brago? I think we do. This basically forces him to play his Wrath, which I don't think is great for us, but it's okay. Like, the thing is, if we knew he was going to hit his land drop, we might just sit back on our Golem and try to force him to use his Call of the Herd. But if he misses his land drop here, then he's not. And the other thing is, he doesn't have to have his other white mana, so... And now we actually can use our Wrath potentially here. Wish that was negate. Well, let's just push our advantage now. So he gets a token here. He can use it to kill Blade Splicer, which is fine. Feel like we've kind of already gotten our value. So Day of Judgment, and he even has the mana to cast it. He might just fire it off. Good. That works, I think, for us. It's a little awkward because of the Call of the Herd still in his yard, but But I like the fact that we can Toxic Deluge any big follow-up play away, and then we're just any number of lands away from hitting these two great threats as well. So overall, I think it worked out okay for us. Have to just accept that. We know our mana's not amazing. It's good though. It ended up being, I mean, 6 duels ended up being fine. But we're not always going to have a Mirror Angel right when we want it or whatever. All right, so here comes Call the Herd. Play something else. Play a 2-drop. Play Fauna Shaman. Just drop it. No? All right. Pestermite. I like that. I think I will Pestermite down his Elephant token and continue to apply pressure. That Aether Vial's getting a little out of control. Rancor. Oh, yeah, all right. So am I Toxic Deluging this Elephant? Taking 5 and then paying 3, so I take an 8, a total of 8. I don't think I can stomach that, so I'm going to go ahead and tap this thing down and then probably kill them both. With any luck, he plays an extra creature. Okay, so his hand is Rancor, card, and then card drawn here, but we don't know actually what they are. You know what? I'm just going to go with the Mirror Angel here. Normally I just slam Worm Coil, but I actually like Emiria a little bit better here just because, like, if he's got Path or Plow, we get a creature out of it either way. And it's a perfectly fast clock, and it lets us leave up Essence Scatter, though. It feels like that might be getting a little bit out of hand here as he's now hit 8. What is happening with that Aether Vial? Thalia. Just don't think I care about Thalia that much. Maybe I just use my Essence Scatter. I don't know. I feel like we can race that, especially now. I would be pretty content to just play Parallax Wave and get rid of Thalia. But this puts up lethal, where I can Parallax Wave next turn, get rid of Thalia, and kill him, as opposed to just hitting him for 4 and kind of having inevitability, but not, ultimately, if he Wraths here, we win. Like, we get 2 1/1s. Seeker of Ziwei. This is the fairest deck ever, and I'm very happy about it because I love beating up on decks like this. See, these type of decks don't need much, but they do need like a Blade Splicer Brago interaction or something to make them more unfair, where you're just like, geez, All right. Play Parallax Wave. Clear the way. Going for the kill here. All right. He figured it out. I like that Vial was on 9. What the heck was he going for? 9? That's insane. Matchup seems quite fine for us. Really does. The only card I might consider is like a Cyclonic Rift. Now we can get in the way of something, or he might make tokens or whatever. So let's put in Rift. What should we cut? Pestermite? Sure. All right, let's see if this deck of his gets a little bit less fair. Two counter spells and 5 lands. Well, we have all of our colors, so that's obviously a plus. I think I can keep it. I think this is like one of those sort of sketchy keeps. Like if he plays a Savannah Lions or something, we're kind of dead. Aether Vial, less dead, though it does make this hand essentially crap. It's a pretty funny one. Plays Aether Vial into our double counter spell, all land, mana hand. But we don't need much. I don't think he's going to interact with us too terribly often. Force Spike. Might actually be able to counter something. This whole draw's been funny. Now we're on 3 counters, like all mana sources and counters versus an Aether Vial and no board. He has nothing. Does he know that has flash? So I usually want to wait for your opponent if it has flash, just because if he makes me use up my excuse me, my counterspell on my turn, then I won't have as much mana on his turn. So a little bit of a misstep there from our opponent, I think. Venser could be very good, though it isn't doing a ton at the moment. It's either that or leave up for bid. I can see going either route. But the fact that he's done nothing means that I think I'd rather set up Venser next turn for any type of shenanigans that we might find. I don't know. Curse of Predation with no creatures yet. Well, that can get scary. Can make any one creature into a big threat. I like that. Let's just play Venser. Blink our island and we can leave Forbid up. Or maybe just the Monolith. Yeah, we probably don't need the mana. Forbid's probably more important in case he plays something, I don't know, Awakening Zone. And it just goes off. Where the chances that we need the Grim Monolith on untap are fairly low. I mean, we're top decking. We have to hit like Wormcoil Engine or something very specific to miss out. And even then we can kind of play that whenever. Ooh. What in the world? I don't know what's happening. All right, so he's got his master. Be very good. He does. All right, so the heat is on, no doubt about it. So Aether Vial actually doing work here. Because I would have been able to counter that. And I absolutely 100% would have done that. And now it looks like Venser is probably going to die. This is looking pretty good for him. We haven't quite found enough action. I mean, we found a Grim Monolith and a Venser, which are good starts, but we just need that one something, Blade Splicer, just something to kind of push these things over the top, and we haven't found it. And he's had a pretty pedestrian draw, but since we kept Counterspell heavy hand and he had Aether Vial, he's getting ahead of us. All right, there is that. Yeah, this is all not amazing for us. Silverblade Paladin, he's actually casting it. Yeah, we'll just forbid it. So what do we need here? Toxic Deluge? Mutavault plus that curse, though, is it's a beating. That is going to be tough for us to get. Wait, what? What did I miss? Shouldn't that have done wonderful things for him there? I can't tell what it's targeting. I thought the arrows inward meant it targeted me. Why don't these have counters on them? Maybe I missed it. Okay, he's enchanting me Whenever a creature attacks me, put a plus one. Oh, they attacked Venser. Duh. Not a player. I mean, kind of looks like one, but he's not. All right. Now that I'm done being dumb, I will. Can I just blink him? What does that put him at? What do you start at? 3? I actually have to look this up. Venser the So. He comes in at 3, so this is actually higher, just to plus him. All right, now Venser's going to die. We're drawing dumb lands. I have no idea what's happening. Both at me. All right. So he's decided that Venser isn't doing enough anyway. And he's right. And so he should just get me dead because I think he can kill me like next turn or something. So I certainly don't blame him here. This seems absolutely correct to me, although I would have sent with a Mutavault. Archangel of Thune. So I can make him fight Archangel, which is kind of interesting. Let's play Archangel. And she gets to block something, so he's going to have to do some kind of awkward stuff here to make this work. But it will work out for him. We're going to need to draw more than an Archangel, which is sad because we're playing against green-white where you think an Archangel would be good enough, but it is not. Because this card seems to be doing some serious work right there. I mean, obviously Master is the key card here, but Curse is making my life difficult. He does have Awakening Zone. We called it. Which is a must counter. I don't see when I'm going to have time to pay for that pact anyway, so I might as well just keep the cheaper counter in my hand. He got me. Had the journey. Could have countered it. Lived a turn. I didn't think he had it, though. Yeah, I mean, we're deader than dead anyway. Looking at it realistically, but something to consider. I'm starting to question whether he knows if he can put Aether Vial, not put a counter on it. Oh, he's giving me an extra turn anyway. Yeah, I'm just confused. He could have just killed me. Now he doesn't kill Venser or me. And we get there. We totally just got there. The one card in our deck. That means that we're not dead. Unbelievable. And this combo can totally take over the game from here. Like, we might just win this now. So let's just kill all of these. And then I can do the trick, right, where I control click. So I can put this thing on the stack. No, it needs to be instant. All right, that's fine. So let's just kill all these things and blink this. I'll do it to this guy too, just because it shrinks him back down one. Unbelievable. Crazy game. That's no good. I see. Okay. I can be a little more efficient at that if I put a stop on my end step. Because then I can just put the Master of the Wild Hunt away and then he doesn't get a wolf, so I don't have to mess around with it. It doesn't really matter just because I've got way more activations than I need every turn, but yeah, you know, if he wants to play something that goes wider or whatever, I'm going to have to consider that. Brimaz. I think I care about Brimaz. You got it. I can't let him attack, but who cares? And then Venser's going to go ultimate at some point here, and hopefully I can just go off. All right, well, I got 2 cards to discard to forbid again now, so that's nice. Still haven't really drawn much either. That's the funny part. Like we hit the perfect card, but these are all kind of just dead. What? Kozilek or something? Like, the hell, it costs 10. Nothing. This game. This has been great. Carry added. Does it matter? No, right? No. You have a carry. It can't attack, so it can't pick up counters. Oh, this is just too good. Ooh, there's a good blocker. Just grinding. See how high that Aether Vial gets. It's at 11. This is just funny. Mutavault, sure. Can't attack with it. Maybe he didn't notice that I have Psychotog. Nom nom nom. All right, now I think we can finally start going for it here. Feels fairly risk-free at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We've still got a counter on Parallax Wave, which remember it's when you can't remove a counter, so it wouldn't even happen next turn. It would be the turn after that when that wave would need to come back. And now we can start just doing mean things because we haven't been mean yet. I'd like this back, please. Ah, yes, the old Archangel of Thune Psychotog combo. Partners in crime. And let's see what he's working with here. Masumi no 11 drops. He's not going to let me see. Okay, made it to the finals.
Love playing Standard on Magic Online? Check out Academy's Standard Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds for Standard singles.
All right, the finals it is. Last match was just weird. Ooh, there's a good keep. Wow, that's a nice one there. So do we lead with Force? Do we lead with Force Spike being up or Inquisition? Probably Inquisition so that we can plan things out. Also, in case he's, a super aggro deck, we'll know which ones to counter and which ones not that way. You know, this guy says he likes the videos. Say cheese. You're in one. Mono red, watch. Mountain, 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 goblin guide. Oh, look at this, blue. And he kept a very heavy land hand here, which is fine. I did it last time too. So Allure's going to be gone. So control, magic, and then island, flats, factory, vents. Okay. So we don't really have much going on ourselves. He's asked if I was recording. I am. Oh, that's a good draw for him. Serum Visions to set up the future. So for Spike, the only target that we're actually going to know about for a little bit here is the control magic, which currently doesn't have a target. So yeah, great. Got all of our colors, perfect mana. Double blue, double white, single swamp is exactly what we need to cast basically everything. All right, he ditched the vents. So island vent. So he's got flats, factory. I would have played factory. Wouldn't you play factory? Just for the off chance of hitting some damage. All right, well, we should be able to keep him at bay for a while, but we're not really doing much here. Oh, I got to kill this. That's why he keeps doing that. I am not an every stop person. Some people do that. I don't. You guys watch me play. I don't find that that's really necessary. I think you waste more time doing that than anything. All right, so there's a factory. And there's a blade splicer. Lovely. Let's play a blade splicer. And we get to keep up 4 spike. And then, so basically we get to protect against him stealing the golem, which, you know, depending on what else he's got going on, he might want to do. Electrolyze the blade splicer. Sure. You can see countering that, but it's much more problematic if he untaps and plays Jace or just tries to steal the golem. Like, we're not actually doing much with it. The worst part of that exchange is that he got to draw a card. That was the annoying part. So he's got 6 cards in hand, and we know of 2 of them. Marsh Flats and Control Magic. If we get to untap from this spot, we should be in decent shape. We can counter 3 spells in a row, probably. Wow, Thoughtseize as well. It's really good, too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a little update on what's been going on over there. Wow. A lot. So wow. Metamorph. Kega. Teferi. And then he also has an island. Okay. So what do we want to take away here? He decided to do nothing this turn at all. So we're going to get a chance to miscalculation whatever it is that he wants to play on this turn, at least, if we take Metamorph. Because if he goes land Metamorph and pays the 2 life, then we can't miscalculation it and we can't Force Spike. We have to forbid, which is a little awkward. Yeah, so let's just take the Metamorph here. He probably wants to go for Teferi, and we can counter it. So take the Metamorph. And Zibits. So ideally, he passes here, tries to Teferi us. We force spike it and leave up miscalculation. That's kind of our main motive of victory here. Don't think I'm going to play that Shrine. I want to build up a couple of cards so that I can buy back Forbid if needed. And we don't need any more white or black. All right, so here's Teferi. So spike that. So he's played Island Teferi. He's got Flats Control Magic Kega. And he's just going to go for the big gun. And I'm really happy he did, because if he went the other direction of just stealing our golem, I think we'd be pretty dead. As it stands, now I like our chances a lot. I don't mind that he went for it. I think that's a pretty good play, but now he's down to unknown card Flats. And we can kind of just get him here. If I knew I had Dungeon Geist, I would have let that thing resolve, maybe. May as well. Can he just block and trade off his thing? Doesn't that just work? Feels like it would. Leave the forbid window open in case he figures out, because right, he can just say, tap something, make it a 2/2, block, tap it. Yeah. So I think that either he forgot, that happens all the time. I've attacked into factory and been like, whoops, my 2/2 dies. It's just a weird little side ability that comes up just often enough so that you should know, but just not often enough so that you forget. But also, he had to remember that he killed my Blade Splicer, which is actually what gives my Golem first strike. It doesn't have it on its own. So there's a decent chance that he thought, well, I can't block because it'll just die to first strike anyway. You know, that could have been a thing as well. So what do I do against this guy? I liked our draw a lot against him. I think it was about where we wanted to be. He's got multiple control magic type effects. It's pretty rough. He's got some fairly expensive cards. I feel like Rift probably comes in again against him. Maybe land tax. Maybe we try land tax. If this game's going to end up being a controlling type situation, then, you know, just having like billions of extra cards in your hand can really go a long way. Guess I could just play this. It's pretty good late in the game. What's bad against him? 4 spikes out. I just feel like once they see it, they're just like, all right, well, I'm not playing into that anymore. Oh, sure. Land tax? We're on the draw. It's way better on the draw. Let's try that. So many of his threats were really big that Inquisition might not hit. as much as we'd like. We actually didn't see much counter magic from him either. This looks fine. Leans a little heavily on Thoughtseize, but that's what Thoughtseize is for in some cases. Oh. Yeah, we'll turn to it instead. How about that? He didn't play a land. He wants to try to stay even with me on land so that I don't get value, but he just basically gave me the playback. I'll take it. Oh, never mind. Oh no, he did have lands. There they are. I was gonna say, oh, he just didn't have any lands, but he did. He's getting cute here. All right. What do I take? Legacy's Lure would become a problem down the line. Condescend and Remand can kind of keep me... Like, Condescend can counter something at any point here. I can play around it fairly easily, I think, though. I think Legacy's Lure is actually the most annoying. Control Magic's annoying, but not so much. Like, Parallax Wave helps. In fact, Parallax Waves helps with Legacy's Lure as well. It's interesting. Electromancer almost gets him, like, free mana. I think I want to take one of his counters. His counters are making me nervous. I think I'll take Remand. Yeah, no, I'll take Condescend. Even though I can play around it, it's like he's in a really weird spot here because he can just sort of sit back. Like, I'm not going to pressure him for a while given our hand. Look at our hand. We're not putting any heat on him. Plays a lure, that's fine because we don't really care about it. All right, so let's get the Remand out of his hand here. No? Kind of think he's just got to do it. His whole game plan's... Oh, interesting. His whole game plan's around his Legacy's Lure now. And what he's trying to do is trying to get me with it by not playing Remand there to buy himself a turn later so that his Legacy's Allure can still Emeria Angel and he can take over. But that's pretty tough to do. Or he's just going to control magic it, which I actually want him to do. So this works out just fine. Now I can play either Parallax Wave or Venser and just get my Emeria Angel back, just completely blanking his control magic. And I think it's Venser. Venser blinks, goes to 5. He's got Goblin, Electromancer, and not much else. He goes back to his turn. He can steal Emeria Angel, but then I can just steal it back again. So yeah, let's just get Venser. Blink. He could make a bird. He could hit Venser for 4. But none of these equal him being ahead when the dust settles. Especially when we've got more ways to blink. His control magic, or his, steal your creatures theme here is not very good against what we're doing. I mean, look at our hand. And we got Venser, Brago, and Parallax Wave. Okay, steal that, make a creature. Hit for 4. Then I plus to steal it back. Now, if he's got a lightning bolt or something, he could be in a little bit more business. Delver. Okay. Want that back. I'm assuming he's going to, excuse me, he's going to remand whatever I play here anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. But I don't want to let him know about the Parallax Wave, which I feel is more important to my overall game plan here. Forbid, we can keep. Yes, that's fine. Okay. So being at 16 life, this should work out well for us. If he flips his Delver, he didn't, so let's just not even worry about it. If he did, it's a little awkward because, in order for us to just full-on win this game, we get Venser and Parallax Wave and the game's over. I mean, if uninterrupted, the game ends. So he's got all of these. We know nothing about his hand. 4 unknowns, I believe. Either an island or 4 unknowns. He's willing to sacrifice a guy to kill Venser. The question for us is, which one do we want to eat? And it's definitely not the Delver. I think it's between these two. Because the Parallax Wave can keep the Delver off balance forever, plus we have a 2/4 flyer, so that's fine. The question is just do we want to get the factory off the battlefield? And the answer is probably yeah. It's got to be better than the stupid Electromancer. I mean, he got a little bit of value off of it, but we're effectively taking a land away, or a mana away anyway by killing the factory, so that's pretty good. All right, so let's make a dude. Deliver the beats. Play wave. This way we can have forbid up. He's got dissolve. Well, we'll forbid. I don't want him to get the scry. I want to have my wave. I don't want any of that stuff to go away. Ship it back. Now, if it flips, it's just like we kind of just get information because we're just going to send it to the skies anyway. And then eventually our deal is we want to hit with Brago. All right, so revealed was, Prophetic Bolt. Yeah, but he's like, oh, he's not. He's only 1 mana away from it, so. Doesn't have white mana. So Geist is basically blank. That leaves him with Electrolyze, Volcanic, Kega, and this. None of these are very good for him. I'm going to go like that. So he can have a land and a Kega, or he can have Electrolyze and a land, and then kind of a deadish Geist. He should probably take this pile, but... yeah, he took the 3. Stone of white. So he can zap a couple of birds here in an attempt to dig. Yeah, I can't do anything. So I was considering Parallax Waving both of them. That counters this. They're dying anyway. But I need 1 extra counter on it because then it would actually kill my Parallax Wave on my upkeep. And that can't happen because I need to hit with Brago and blink it. Ooh. Rift is kind of cute. Just going to ignore the Delver. So he can Prophetic Bolt Brago, which is decent. I can just save him, though. Sort of save him. It's going to be close. Prophetic Bolt Brago is... I save him with Parallax Wave, but he does get back his Electromancer or whatever when it finally dies, and I don't get to blink the wave anymore. Basically, he's just going to take it here. I'm just not going to blank anything. Fencer. What is Vencer going to do? I think that's fine, right? I don't think that's really that bad. He gets his Electromancer back, but not really sure what his plan is from there. I think what my plan is to see what he does, and then probably end step rift him, or maybe even Pestermite and then main phase rift him. I got two different ways to get stuff out of the way. I guess he could just be trying to counter Parallax Wave, but the problem is he's dead to both of my flyers, and I've even got a third that he doesn't know about yet. I think that last one where he took the hit and hasn't played the Prof Bolt is, he may be too far behind now. I mean, I guess he could just go like Prof Bolt, regular Bolt, 3, 4, and then 1. He'd need another spell though because of the Pestermite. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was one of the ways he could get back. But he needs another one, like I just said. He needs like a lightning bolt. Okay, he didn't have it. All right, and we got there. So that was an interesting one for sure. The whole draft was weird. And this is happening too. Whoa, it's like I'm painting. This is just a background on my... There's that on my Windows virtual machine. I guess there's that. Anyway, whatever. We got there. That was fun. So hopefully you guys get a chance to play the cube as well. It's been pretty sweet. I know that Randy Bueller, who basically designed the cube, has been asking for feedback. If you have any, you can find him at rbueller on Twitter and let him know what's what. Or you can tell me too, and I'll see him. I see him all the time, so I can, kind of be the intermediary as well. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, I'm Marshall_LR, and if you want to find anything related to limited resources, you can do so at lrcast.com. See you next week.